Have you ever wondered why some of the most content and fulfilled individuals live quietly, without the need to constantly reveal every aspect of their lives? In today's hyper-connected world, we are encouraged to share everything, from our triumphs to our hardships, from our dreams to our fears. But what if, in doing so, we are not only losing our sense of privacy, but also our peace of mind? Stoicism, the ancient philosophy that has guided countless people through the ages, offers a timeless insight into the value of discretion and the importance of keeping certain matters private. This video is not just another list of self-help tips. It's a profound exploration of Stoicism's teachings on why you should carefully guard key aspects of your life. By the end of this video, you will understand why Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, advised that maintaining privacy is essential not only for your success, but for your inner tranquility. So, as we embark on this journey together, ask yourself, what parts of my life do I overshare, and how is that affecting me? Stay with me as we uncover these 7 things that, according to Stoicism, you should keep to yourself. 1. Your financial situation. Why do we feel the need to disclose our financial standing to others? Is it the desire for recognition, or perhaps validation? Stoicism teaches us that such disclosures, whether we are wealthy or struggling, can lead to unnecessary complications in life. When you reveal that you are financially successful, you risk attracting people who may have ulterior motives. They might see you as a source of financial gain rather than a person with intrinsic value. On the other hand, if you admit financial difficulties, there is a risk that others may view you with disdain or pity, both of which erode your sense of self-worth. The Stoics believed in living with simplicity and moderation, regardless of one's material wealth. For them, it wasn't the size of your bank account that mattered, but the richness of your character. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, never boasted of his wealth, despite ruling an empire. He understood that true strength lay in one's virtues, not in one's possessions. Ask yourself, does revealing my financial situation make me any more or less virtuous? Consider how society tends to associate financial success with personal worth. If you are successful, people may expect you to live up to their expectations or be generous with your wealth. If you are struggling, some may distance themselves, or worse, judge you harshly. Stoicism teaches us that such external opinions should not define us. We must find value within ourselves and avoid seeking external validation through material wealth. Imagine a scenario where you tell a group of friends about a financial windfall. Suddenly, you notice that they treat you differently, perhaps expecting you to pick up the tab or lend them money. Over time, you might begin to question whether these people truly value your friendship or merely your financial status. Is that a burden you want to carry? On the other hand, consider a time when you were financially struggling. Did revealing that hardship change the way people viewed you? Did it alter your own sense of self-worth? Stoicism reminds us that our worth is not tied to the ups and downs of our financial circumstances. What truly matters is how we navigate these challenges with wisdom and dignity. Therefore, keep your financial situation private. Let others see your character, not your wealth. In doing so, you maintain your peace and protect yourself from unnecessary complications. Remember, as a Stoic, your value comes from your virtues, not your material possessions. But what about the battles we've fought and the challenges we've overcome? Should we reveal them too, or keep them close to our chest? Let's explore this next. 2. Your past battles. We all have our own battles, personal challenges, heartbreaks, failures that have shaped us into who we are today. But should we share these stories with others, or is there wisdom in keeping them private? According to Stoicism, revealing too much about the hardships you've endured might do more harm than good. While it can be tempting to tell others about the struggles you've faced in an effort to earn sympathy or respect, Stoicism reminds us that the true measure of our growth is not in the telling, but in the showing. Ask yourself, why do I feel the need to share my past battles? Is it because I want others to see how far I've come, or is it because I'm seeking validation for my pain? The Stoics would argue that the latter can be a dangerous path. When we seek validation for our past struggles, we attach ourselves to them, allowing them to define us. But Stoicism teaches us to focus on the present moment, to live in the now, not in the shadows of our past. Consider this: when you share the details of your past struggles, how often do you feel truly understood? More often than not, others cannot fully grasp the depth of your experiences because they have their own battles to fight. The Stoics believed that our hardships are personal, meant to forge our character rather than serve as stories to be shared with everyone. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Our challenges are meant to be stepping stones toward our growth, not tales we use to define ourselves. Picture this: you meet someone new, and in an attempt to connect, you start sharing the story of a difficult time in your life. Perhaps they nod in understanding, maybe they even offer some empathy. But what do you truly gain from this exchange? Did sharing that story make you stronger, or did it leave you feeling exposed? Stoicism teaches that true strength lies in showing, through your actions and your character, how you've emerged from those battles, not in recounting them. Imagine the story of David, a man who faced countless challenges, losing a loved one, financial hardship, raising children alone. Rather than sharing these struggles with everyone he meets, David chooses to focus on the present. He quietly builds a better life for his children, helps others in his community, and demonstrates patience and resilience. His past battles remain a silent force, shaping his character, but never the center of attention. Through his actions, not his words, David shows others that he is strong and wise. And isn't that what we truly seek? To be recognized for our growth, not for the pain that helped create it? As you reflect on your own life, consider this question: is it more valuable to be seen as someone who talks about their past battles, or someone who lives with quiet strength and wisdom, moving forward despite them? Speaking of moving forward, what about your goals and aspirations? Shouldn't we share them with others to keep ourselves motivated? Let's discuss that next. 3. The details of your goals. Sharing your dreams and aspirations with others might seem like a good idea at first. After all, what harm could there be in letting people know where you're headed, right? But Stoicism teaches us otherwise. When you share the specific details of your goals, you risk more than just criticism or envy. You risk losing control over your journey. Let's pause here for a moment. Why do we feel the need to tell others about our goals? Is it to keep ourselves accountable? Is it to feel supported? Or is it because we crave approval from others? Stoicism encourages us to look inward for validation rather than seeking it from external sources. Your path is yours alone, and it should remain under your control. Think of it this way: sharing the intricate steps of your goals is like giving someone the blueprint to your most prized possession. If things don't go as planned, you may begin to question whether someone else's influence derailed your progress, or if you made a misstep. Worse, others may start offering unsolicited advice or judgments, clouding your own vision. In Stoicism, the focus is on what you can control: your actions, your mindset, and your direction, not on how others perceive your journey. Take the example of a sculptor working on a masterpiece. The world knows that he is creating something special, but he doesn't reveal the specific details of his process. The shape, the meaning, the inspiration, all of these remain within him until the work is complete. Why? Because by keeping his vision close to his heart, he protects it from outside interference and distractions. He maintains full control over the outcome. If he had shared every detail of his work with others, he might have faced criticism, comparison, or even worse, someone attempting to copy his creation. By keeping his process private, the sculptor not only safeguards his art, but also ensures that its unveiling will have the full impact he intends. Ask yourself, how often do I share my goals with others? Does sharing them truly help me, or does it invite unnecessary pressure and expectation? When you reveal your goals, you may feel momentarily empowered by the support or encouragement of others. But over time, you might find that their opinions begin to weigh on you, causing doubt or hesitation. Stoicism reminds us that the only person you truly need to share your goals with is yourself. Your internal compass is what will guide you, not the validation of others. It's also important to consider that, in sharing too much, you may lose the magic of surprise. When your goals are achieved, wouldn't it be more powerful for others to see the result of your hard work, rather than hearing about every step along the way? Stoicism teaches that our actions speak louder than our words, and this applies to our goals as well. As you reflect on this, remember that your path is yours alone. Keep it close, nurture it, and let the results speak for themselves. Before we move on to the next point, I encourage you to stay with me through the rest of this video. The insights that Stoicism offers are not just about living in the past or protecting your goals. They are about cultivating inner peace and wisdom in all aspects of life. Don't miss the remaining lessons that can transform how you approach the world around you. Now that we've discussed your goals, let's consider another important aspect of your life that Stoicism urges you to keep private: your personal relationships. 4. Relationship conflicts. Personal relationships are one of the most sacred aspects of our lives. They offer us support, love, and companionship. But when conflicts arise, as they inevitably do, Stoicism advises us to keep these issues private. Sharing the intimate details of your relationship problems with others, especially in a public space or on social media, can not only damage the trust between you and your partner, but also weaken the foundation of the relationship itself. Have you ever wondered, why do we feel the need to share our personal conflicts with the world? It may seem like seeking advice or venting to friends will help resolve the tension, but Stoicism reminds us that real growth and resolution come from within the relationship. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the power of self-restraint and inner reflection. In your moments of conflict, the most effective resolution will come from open and honest communication with your partner, not from airing your grievances to others. Ask yourself, what do I hope to achieve by sharing my relationship conflicts? Am I seeking validation, or am I trying to avoid confronting the issue head-on? Imagine this scenario. You and your partner are experiencing tension. Instead of addressing the issue directly with each other, you turn to a friend for advice. At first, it feels good to release your frustrations, but over time, the friend's perspective begins to shape how you see your partner. They may even start offering opinions on whether you should continue the relationship or how you should handle your partner's behavior. What started as a private matter between two people is now colored by external perspectives. Stoicism emphasizes that the strength of a relationship lies in the ability to navigate difficulties together without outside interference. When you share your conflicts with others, you risk introducing biases, misinterpretations, and even judgment into a space that should remain sacred. Isn't the goal of any relationship to build trust and intimacy? How can that trust grow if every disagreement becomes public knowledge? Consider this. Every relationship goes through ups and downs. But would you prefer to resolve these challenges through quiet, respectful conversations with your partner, or by broadcasting the problem to the world and allowing others to weigh in? The former is the Stoic way, preserving the dignity of your relationship and fostering an environment where both partners can grow together. We've all heard stories of couples who argue publicly or post about their relationship woes on social media. While this might bring momentary relief or attention, it ultimately damages the relationship's foundation. Instead, Stoicism teaches us to cultivate an inner strength that allows us to face these challenges with grace and discretion. Your relationship should be a sanctuary, not a spectacle. So, the next time conflict arises, take a moment to reflect. Is this something that needs to be shared, or is it better handled within the walls of your relationship? By keeping conflicts private, you protect the bond you've worked so hard to build. Now that we've explored the importance of privacy in relationships, let's turn to another area of life that Stoicism advises us to guard carefully: your happiness. 5. Your happiness. Happiness is a beautiful thing, a state of being that we all strive for. But here's a question. Is it necessary to share our happiness with others at every opportunity? According to Stoicism, the answer is no. While it might seem harmless to express joy and contentment, doing so too often or too publicly can sometimes invite envy, skepticism, or even resentment from those around you. In a world often filled with negativity, your happiness can stand out, and not always in the way you might hope. Think about it. How many times have you shared a moment of happiness only to be met with an unexpected response? Perhaps someone downplayed your joy, or worse, questioned its sincerity. Stoicism teaches us that happiness is something that should be cultivated internally, not flaunted externally. The more we rely on external validation for our happiness, the more vulnerable we become to the opinions and judgments of others. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught that true happiness comes from within. It is the result of living a life in accordance with virtue and wisdom, not from the fleeting moments of pleasure or external praise. When you share your happiness excessively, you risk inviting the negative emotions of others, envy, bitterness, or even doubt. Does sharing your happiness bring you closer to inner peace, or does it make you dependent on how others react? Imagine someone like John, who, despite living in a challenging world, radiates quiet joy. He is content with his life and expresses this through his actions and demeanor. When asked how he is doing, John doesn't exaggerate his happiness or boast about how great everything is. Instead, he calmly says, "I'm doing well," with a genuine smile. This simple response conveys his contentment without attracting unwanted attention or skepticism. John's happiness isn't dependent on how others perceive him. It is rooted in his inner state of being. Now think about your own life. How often do you feel the need to share your happiness with others? Does it truly enhance your joy, or does it sometimes leave you feeling exposed? Stoicism encourages us to find contentment within ourselves, without the need for external acknowledgement. This doesn't mean you should hide your happiness, but rather that you should guard it carefully. Your happiness is precious, and it should not be subject to the scrutiny or judgment of others. Another important aspect to consider is how your happiness might affect those around you. While some may celebrate with you, others might feel envy or frustration, especially if they are struggling with their own lives. Stoicism teaches us to be mindful of how our actions and words impact others. By keeping your happiness quiet and steady, you protect not only yourself, but also those who may not be in the same emotional space as you. As we move forward, remember that happiness is a deeply personal experience. Guard it, nurture it, and let it shine through your actions, not your words. Let your life be a quiet testament to the contentment that comes from within, rather than a loud proclamation seeking validation from the outside. Before we dive into the next point, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you feel pressure to share your happiness with others? How has Stoicism helped you guard your inner joy? Share your experiences in the comments below. Let's reflect together on how we can all cultivate more inner peace. Now that we've discussed happiness, Let's move to another area where Stoicism urges us to practice caution: your personal relationships and confidences. 6. Personal confidences and secrets. Trust is one of the most valuable currencies in any relationship. When someone confides in you, they are placing an immense amount of trust in your integrity. According to Stoicism, safeguarding that trust is not just an act of loyalty, but a testament to your moral character. So, the question arises, how well do we protect the secrets that others entrust to us? Stoicism teaches us that revealing the secrets and vulnerabilities of others can have far-reaching consequences. It not only erodes the trust that has been built, but also damages our own reputation as someone who can be relied upon. Imagine being in a position where a close friend shares their deepest fears and struggles with you, only for you to reveal those details to someone else, even if your intentions were good. What does that say about your own sense of discretion and honor? Epictetus, a prominent Stoic philosopher, would remind us that every act, no matter how small, reflects our inner character. By breaking a confidence, even unintentionally, we demonstrate a lack of prudence and moral strength. Trust, once broken, is difficult to rebuild. Have you ever shared something confidential about a friend, only to regret it later? What motivated you to reveal that information? Let's take a moment to reflect on why Stoicism places such importance on discretion. When you are entrusted with someone's personal struggles, vulnerabilities, or dreams, you are essentially holding a piece of their soul. By keeping that piece protected, you not only show respect for them, but also strengthen the bond of trust between you. When you betray that trust, however, you introduce a sense of doubt and suspicion that can be hard to repair. Think of a person in your life who has shared something deeply personal with you. How did it feel to be trusted with such information? And now consider how you would feel if someone took your deepest secret and shared it with others. This is why Stoicism teaches us to hold these confidences close, protecting them as if they were our own. In fact, Marcus Aurelius himself wrote extensively about the importance of acting with integrity, even when no one is watching. Keeping the secrets of others is one of those unseen acts that defines our character. It is not about the public recognition of being trustworthy, but about the quiet strength that comes from knowing you are someone others can rely on, even in their most vulnerable moments. Stoicism encourages us to exercise wisdom when handling the vulnerabilities of others. By doing so, we not only preserve our relationships, but also cultivate the virtues of loyalty and respect. In a world where gossip and oversharing are common, the Stoic path is one of restraint and ethical strength. Ask yourself, how can I become a better guardian of the trust that others place in me? What does it mean to truly respect the boundaries of personal confidences? Now that we've explored the importance of discretion in personal confidences, let's shift our focus to another area where Stoicism advises us to stay grounded: your ethics and personal values. 7. Your ethics and personal values. In a world where social approval and external validation often take center stage, it can be tempting to compromise your ethics or personal values to fit in. But Stoicism reminds us of the importance of standing firm in our principles, regardless of what others may think or say. The question is, how steadfast are you in your moral beliefs? Stoicism teaches that our values should remain unwavering, even in the face of societal pressure or temptation. Marcus Aurelius, in his writings, often emphasized the need to stay true to oneself and not be swayed by the opinions of the masses. He famously wrote, "The object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane." What does this mean for us today? It means that we should not allow external influences to pull us away from the path of virtue. Ask yourself, have I ever compromised my values to fit in or gain approval? What was the cost of that compromise? Stoicism teaches that short-term gains, achieved by forsaking our ethics, are ultimately hollow. True satisfaction comes from living a life of virtue where our actions align with our deepest moral beliefs. Take the story of Alex, a man who lives in a society that prizes wealth and competition above all else. Alex, however, has always held to his Christian values of respect, kindness, and honesty. One day he is offered a lucrative business deal that could bring him financial success, but at the cost of participating in unethical practices. What does Alex do? In line with Stoic teachings, he refuses the offer, choosing instead to uphold his principles, even though it means missing out on a large financial opportunity. Alex understands that true success lies not in material wealth, but in living a life that aligns with his ethics. This is the essence of Stoicism. Your values and moral compass should remain unshaken, even when the world tempts you to act otherwise. When we compromise our ethics, we are not only betraying ourselves, but also weakening the very foundation of who we are. Consider this: every time you act in accordance with your values, you strengthen your character. Every time you compromise those values, you weaken the very essence of who you are. So, how can we stay grounded in our ethics, even when the world around us is pushing us to conform? Stoicism offers a simple solution. Focus on what you can control: your actions, your decisions, and your commitment to living a virtuous life. Everything else is beyond your control and should not dictate your choices. Remember, living in accordance with your values is not always easy. There will be moments when the allure of success, popularity, or approval will tempt you to stray from your path. But as the Stoics taught, it is in these moments of challenge that our true character is revealed. If you've found value in this exploration of Stoicism, take a moment to reflect on how you can apply these principles in your own life. Share in the comments below. What values are most important to you, and how do you ensure you stay true to them in challenging situations? Your thoughts could inspire others on their own Stoic journey. Throughout this exploration, we've delved into 7 key areas where Stoicism advises us to remain private: our financial situation, past battles, goals, relationship conflicts, happiness, personal confidences, and our ethics. Each of these aspects of life holds a deep connection to our sense of self, our inner peace, and our relationships with others. By keeping these matters private, we not only protect ourselves from unnecessary scrutiny, but also cultivate a life of virtue, wisdom, and tranquility. Ask yourself, which of these lessons resonated with me the most? Are there aspects of your life where you've overshared, only to feel the consequences later? Stoicism offers us the timeless reminder that true strength comes from within, and that privacy is not about hiding. It's about preserving what is sacred. As we conclude this journey together, remember that Stoicism is not just a philosophy for ancient times, it's a guide for modern life. The next time you're tempted to share too much, pause, reflect, and ask yourself, what is truly gained by revealing this? If you found value in this video, I encourage you to engage with the content. Like this video, share it with those who could benefit from Stoicism's wisdom, and subscribe to the channel to continue learning how to live a life of virtue and tranquility. Most importantly, leave a comment below. Let's reflect together on how Stoicism has impacted your life and which lesson from today you plan to apply moving forward. Thank you for watching, and may you continue to cultivate wisdom and inner peace in your journey ahead.